Five adorable animals that have a tough start in life. Number 5. Seahorses. Fewer than 5 infant seahorses in every 1,000 survive to adulthood, and it's no wonder. Seahorses don't have stomachs, and because of this they need to constantly eat. From the moment they are born, they are terrible swimmers that are forced to fill a need for constant food while avoiding their natural predators like crabs, rays, skates and even fellow fish. In addition, they also live in a constant battle against ocean currents that can drag them away from areas rich in the microscopic organisms they eat, as well as storms or pollution that can cause them to swim so hard in protest that they die of exhaustion. To combat these things, baby seahorses will change color to blend into their surroundings and use their special tail to grasp foliage on the ocean floor as a more efficient way of staying in one place than constantly swimming. Now if only humans could find a way to sit around all day constantly eating and still maintain the trim, muscular physique of a seahorse. Number 4. Giraffes. When baby giraffes come into the world, there's no time to lounge around soaking in the moment. In fact, they begin life with a 6-foot drop from their exit hole to the hard African savanna. Before they can realize why their bones hurt, their mother is terrified of predators and tries to force them to stand up by kicking and nudging them. After they stand up, they instantly enter some sort of bizarre giraffe boot camp, where their mother repeatedly kicks them over and forces them to stand again, building a valuable skill for survival. The primary food sources for giraffes are high-hanging plants, and because baby giraffes are too small to reach them, they are completely reliant on their mother's milk for up to 12 months. For the first several weeks of life, they're forced to hide in areas of tall grass while their mother wanders off in search of food for herself. Then they both meet up with the rest of the herd where the baby giraffes are expected to perform all the duties of an adult giraffe. Number 3. Crocodiles. When a baby crocodile is born, it digs out of its shell and is buried alive. It makes a strange, loud chirping sound aimed at its mother, who stays in close proximity to the eggs so that she can dig them out before they suffocate. Then the mom carries the baby in her mouth to the water, where it instantly needs to swim, hunt, track and evade predators. Hours after birth, baby crocodiles are proficient enough in the water to catch the first meal they consume on planet Earth, usually small fish. They emit a special scent that lets their mother to know they belong to her, and unlike most reptiles, the mother protects her young as best she can against fish, birds, dingoes or even other crocodiles. But after only a few weeks of frantically looking after her kids, on the verge of a nervous breakdown, she leaves them to fend for themselves. More than 50% of crocodiles that survive the trials of birth don't make it past their first year of life, largely due to croc-on-croc violence. At least they don't die at the hands of a guy in khaki shorts filming a television show. Number 2. Polar bears. Once impregnated, mother polar bears work diligently to gain at least 200 kilograms before winter. This isn't to hide their unsightly baby bump, they need every pound of it to feed themselves and their 2 cubs throughout the ruthless winter they spend in a snow den. When polar bear cubs are born they weigh only 500 grams, and although their den brings them some shelter, their thick coats protect them from temperatures that can reach as low as -29 degrees Celsius. For the first few months, they live off their mother's milk in the safety of their den, but then they emerge into a seemingly endless wasteland of snow and ice. If they manage to survive the harsh temperature and winds and constant threat of Arctic foxes looking for a defenseless meal, they have to worry about starvation. Their mother has a limited supply of fat reserves, and seals are nowhere near as abundant as polar bears probably would hope. In recent years, with the recession of the ice caps resulting in fewer feasible places to hunt, cubs not only have to worry about the lack of calories, but also the possibility that their mother will eat them as a last-ditch effort to survive. With their amazing skills, Most survive beyond the first year of life and become an absolutely adorable merciless killing machine. Number 1. Komodo dragons. Komodo dragons only live on a few islands in Indonesia, where they're born into a world where almost everything is a predator and they're forced to hide for years. Komodo mothers abandon their eggs and usually bury them in the side of a hill or the abandoned nest of an orange-footed scrub fowl. The hatching process of Komodo dragons takes hours and tends to exhaust the babies to the point that they lay in their broken shells for hours, gathering strength before tunneling out of the nest. Once out of the nest, they're faced with an almost endless number of predators of all types from every direction, including birds, snakes, cats and even other lizards. They're essentially defenseless at birth, so they climb the nearest tree and stay in it for up to 3 years, eating the insects and birds that choose to live within the tree. They aren't fully grown when they descend from their tree, and getting food often means scavenging what's left of an animal killed by a larger Komodo dragon, who oftentimes will eat them. To prevent this, they roll around in their own feces and the intestines of dead animals as a creative way to make the fellow Komodo think that he is diseased and unsafe to eat.